Here's what you came for. We're done with the trailers. We talked about chemistry. We talked about code. Now let's talk about tools. This is a QR code to Captain Chris Green's article that he wrote on his own for Fire in the Sky, Pilot's Worst Nightmare. This came out in December of last year. Both he and I, he's pushed me into the writing world, so I have an article coming out in June on battery remediation and fire engineering. This is a pretty good article that he has, and it has his chart with his proper coloring instead of the mustard color for the cargo planes and things like that. The airlines are used to this. They've had to deal with it since 2016. So they have tools like a battery bag and the battery gloves, and they know how to put water on it really quickly and snuff it down. Now, it's still an in-flight emergency, so they have to find an airport, but they have not crashed an airplane yet. I've talked to a few flight attendants that have had to deal with this in person. Like, it's a surreal feeling because people don't know what's going on, so we have to keep our eyes open for this. Once again, don't check your batteries. Do not check your batteries, right? So we have to take a look at that and make sure that they're shipped properly. But what about us? We need some fire tools here. And this is not just for firefighters. This is for anybody, right? There's a lot of fire tools out there. Are they good? Are they full of snake oil? Who knows? We've got our fire blanket. The fire blanket we were just talking during the break right now. The ferry system in Washington State is trying to look at doing that. Our departments are planning on putting fire blankets on at least our hazmat, if not our battalion rigs. It will not put the fire out. Right now, I don't care about putting the fire out. I care about protecting exposures. The best tool, the Rosenbauer stabby tool down there in the bottom right. It's good. They did a lot of R&D on this. It's a very expensive tool. It's thinking of something. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. I'm not trying to bash it, but I want you guys to understand what's going on here. We have our foams and encapsulators. Man, I'm betting you guys have probably been getting I got a fax machine at my fire station. We get like 3 faxes every single day. Fax machines, seriously, they're still out there. And there's faxes that pop in for this stuff, for these advertisements, all this stinking time. They are pushing encapsulating agents big time. Remember, it builds its own oxygen. It's a liquid that converts to a gas. If it's a liquid, you don't put foam on propane. Foam's not going to work. I can't put foam on the oven. The pizza box is inside the oven. It's still on fire. I got to get it onto the product. Dunk pools, the European method. Great idea. It will extinguish the car. Well, it won't extinguish the car. It's going to protect exposures. But now, we've made hazmat. That water's contaminated. And per circular requirements, if you make the hazmat, you own it, which means you have to dispose of it. So whoever makes the hazmat has to pay. Do you want your department or your agency to pay for that? Well, you can do not. Here at PHRT, or Hazmat and Rescue, we have this amazing undercar spraying tool. I will sell it to you guys. Normally retailed at $1,699 a piece. I'll sell it to you today for $1,300. Heck, I'll even give you a better deal, $1,250. How about that? Guys, that's a tool that I built up at West Pierce Fire and Rescue. It's literally a decon manifold from our hazmat team. It's a 2.5-inch intake, and it has 6 garden hose outtakes. We put a flow meter on this thing. It was flowing 125 gallons per minute at hydrant pressure at 60 PSI. Great tool. I went down to the hardware store. I just bought 6 sprinkler heads and attached them. It's like, guys, here you go. Throw this on the rig. Call it good. Like, I'm not going to put the fire out, but I can slide this under a car, and I can protect at least the exposure of the ground and try to stop that propagation of that thermal runaway. I can try to slow it down, right? Think outside the box, firefighters. Think outside the box, responders.